Thursday's the day they can't borrow anymore. It's not necessarily the day you would default. Latest estimates are that would be between the 23rd and the 30th, at the day when we have bills due that exceed the amount of revenue that's coming in. So that's important to keep in mind. But there are only 5 choices at this point for Jack Lew. He's got to deal with whatever. And the number one choice that everybody has on their list is prioritization. That's what the bondholders, Bill Gross, want. You pay the treasuries first, then you pay other things. You know, we've talked about this quite a bit. I think it's almost irrelevant in the sense that if you pay the Treasury people first, because bills and cash come in lumpy payments, you pretty much have to say the rest of the government is shut down. And at that point, you go into recession, the markets crash. It doesn't really matter whether you paid the Treasury people at first. You're going to end up in a terrible place. The second would be across-the-board cuts. Everybody takes a haircut. You pay the bondholders something, you pay Social Security something, but everybody takes a haircut.
Unbelievable.
That is obviously something that's going to be another recipe for
This reminds me of Greece.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's no good options. The same sort of options as Greece had. You could delay payments, and that is wait until you have enough money to pay everybody whose bills come in on a single day. Obviously, that's not sustainable for very long because the rest of the bills keep coming in. And so you end up with another market crash and another problem there. A lot of people are focused on the gimmicks. There are a lot of different things that could be done. The 14th Amendment is at the top of the list. The president using that clause in the 14th Amendment about not challenging the U.S.
Juliana's shaking her head, not happening.
Well, the president says it's not happening. They've ruled that out. They say that's an option, but it's not a very good one. Platinum coin, Sarah's favorite thing. And super bond. Yeah,
Juliana Goldman's getting very upset. Our White House correspondent with us. Jump in here with a six. What's the sixth angle?
The multi-trillion coin.
Well, some people say you mint about 1,000, smaller coins and just carry them around in your pocket or something like. Anyway, the markets, and Juliana's point is correct. The White House has ruled it out because the markets wouldn't necessarily believe these things are valid. Hard to say whether you could actually take it to court or not. But if the market doesn't believe it, then they don't buy the bonds that the U.S. then wants to sell, and you have a problem.
And what's to say that this group of House Republicans aren't going to bring impeachment charges?
That's where you would end up with something like that.
Can I ask both of you a question right now? I think it's so important. Could all this get solved this morning if they just held a vote in the House?
Yes.
We're still where we were 13 or 14.
Well, if they get the votes in the
22 Republicans in the House have said they would vote for a clean debt ceiling extension, NCR, and all the Democrats, so that gets you the 216 you would need.
Did Jack Lew lay out any kind of credible path forward when he did testify last week?
No. The Treasury Department has tried to avoid saying what they would do. For obvious reasons, you don't want to give away your negotiating strategy, especially when it goes to the 11th hour. Julie and I were just talking about, we both think this is going to go to the 13th hour. And that is a live option at Treasury, I'm told. Let the country, in theory, sort of default. You go past the 17th. You go past the 17th, it's the 18th, and all of a sudden everybody goes, oh my Lord, what's going to happen? And you see a market crash that's so bad that Congress acts before you actually default on any bonds.
Okay, this is critical, though. Everybody's looking for the market to send the signal, save the day. Is that true at the White House? Do they actually follow the market? Do they watch Bloomberg Surveillance?
Look, I was talking to somebody last night. They didn't want to give to, they want to bring everyone into the fold, so they don't want to single out any one particular show. But they did indicate that they would be watching the markets very, very closely today. And everybody at the White House is bracing for a negative market reaction because they think that's what's going to give Republicans the cover that they need, both in the House and the Senate.
On Friday, Peter Orszag joined us, the former OMB director under President Obama. He said there is no way, literally no way, that they aren't going to pay treasuries. That they aren't going to.
Well, the default scenario is not that they don't pay treasuries, it's that they go to the 18th and they go past the deadline. And that scares everybody so much because so many people have in their mind that that constitutes default. The interesting thing is you may see treasuries actually, yields go down as the flight to safety comes in.
If they're still considered safe, that'll be a benchmark. It's still safety.